Hi guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. As you can see, today we're gonna be working on iPhone XI concepts, and many of you requested like pretty long keyshot tutorial about animation, so this is what you get. And I have to say, before you start, you gotta download some files like HDRI. You can see some of these are gonna be used in the video. These two frames you might need and maybe not for scene 7. These starting scene files are actually the most important files because you're starting each scene from this one or this one. So download those. Here we have some wallpapers that they are not really important. And yeah, also I have to say from 10 or 11 scenes I think 3 failed. Those 3 are scene 4, scene 5 and scene 10. They looked decent, but after rendering them I noticed that they are not really looking something special. So I excluded those from the video, and in the first place video was long, like 5 hours, so I managed to cut it down below 2 hours, which is fine. This is not the best video I've ever made in terms of concepts, and this is not maybe the best tutorial, but I think you're gonna be able to learn some things about animation. Of course, I will do some more in the future. Let me know if I forget to upload some files. Let me know how you managed to do your videos, and yeah, you can show me your results once you're done. And what I wanted to say, yeah, I was very tired and in a lot of moments confused while I was recording these uh, scenes because it just takes a lot of time and my English is not perfect. Also, when you record tutorial, you have to think a lot about a lot of stuff, and yeah, don't pay attention to some of my words. I was constantly messing up, I think, some X's on the model. You will see. So yeah, don't get confused the way I have. And yeah, enjoy the video. That's pretty much what I wanted to say in this intro. You can now go to scene number 1, creation. So for our first scene we need a folder. It's gonna be called scene 1. Inside we need another folder. It's gonna be called PNG, and another one is gonna be called frames. Frames. Now you also need this video. I'm gonna leave this in the description so you can download, and you need this XE starting scene. XI, yeah, XI, something like that. So in scene 1 we copy it, we call it X something, scene 1, and we can get into the keyshot with this one. Open up, and this one is gonna be easy. I'm gonna take front camera. If everything is well set, this should be environment that you are in. I think that we are actually gonna switch to studio, this second one. Yes, this one is better, and we're gonna use this one. So front camera, and let's put the video as a decal or label, however you call it. So double click here on the phone screen. Let's just rotate so you can see yeah, okay. Later we're gonna put this back to 0. For now leave it like this. So height all the way to the minus, rotation something like 270, so you can see the screen. Double click on the screen and add label video. We go to our folder and we take this one. I'm gonna rename it to label number 1. Label video 1. open. This is gonna take a little bit of time because this video is, I think, 4K. Okay, now it's gonna prompt output format. We want PNG, and folder we're gonna choose scene 1 and we're gonna choose frames. Select folder, and now let it export all the frames. And yes, this is also gonna take a lot of time, like 5 minutes for sure. So it's been like 3 minutes and it's close to the end. Okay, now as you can see we have a label on the screen. When you press animation tab, you're gonna see this yellow how to call it, clip. This yellow clip means that this is our video label, and it's lasting like 21 point something. We're gonna click here in the label properties, and we're gonna set FPS to 60, which is gonna double the speed of this one. And as you can see, it's gonna make it shorter, so now it's only 9 seconds. And when you press play, you can see these waves. Now we're gonna also take this label and just rotate it, hold shift and rotate it like this, so it's 90 degrees. I'm gonna turn off rotate and translate right now, so I can drag these points. We just want to fit the screen with this one. And now let's just move it slightly more to the center. I actually like it like this, and click OK. Now the reason why I took this video, I know it doesn't really have a lot to do with Apple, but what I like about this video is when you get close and look at the phone like this and you press play, you can see how these waves are coming across our camera, and you are having like the camera in this shot is gonna be in the highlight because of these waves. That's what I wanted to say. So let's also get back to the label just quickly and take contrast up to 2, brightness 1.75, no, that's a lot, 125 and 1.5. Okay, let's see if we want to switch to some other environment. Yes, we're gonna get back to this one. It's the one we had at the start, and we're gonna switch to 0 and to 0. And we're gonna take brightness of the environment up to 1.5. And that looks decent. Now, we are gonna go and turn on the grid here in the camera. We're gonna take front view, and for distance we're gonna type in 250. Okay, and now when that thing is done, make sure to add an edit camera. I'm gonna, what the hell happens? It looks darker all of a sudden. 175. Okay, make sure to lock the camera And now we can switch again to animation tab, animation wizard. We're gonna take dolly for this camera we just made, and we're gonna say minus 150. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, if we wanted different direction, so it's gonna be 150. Okay. And we're gonna take translation for the model next for this one, and it's gonna go minus 20 on y-axis. Finish. Let's make it also 5 seconds and see how it looks. Yes, we need some other number like minus 35. Nothing is changing. I think my KEYSHOT is really lagging or something. Okay, minus 50 sounds good, and we're gonna take distance of 275, and on epsilon we want minus 45. Let's see now. I'm gonna take the cursor and preview it with the cursor. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna expand this to 6 seconds. I'm gonna take both of these animations and say ease out. Let's see now. Yep, this looks good. You can see I expanded it to 6 seconds. What we are gonna use is only 5 seconds of this animation, and we are gonna render only 5 seconds. Now, as you can see, it's going, and somewhere between 4th and 5th seconds, it's going very slowly, and the waves in the video are also slowly moving, and that's what we wanted. Although what we could do is we're gonna actually take for this first thing, we're gonna take this model, click on it, go to position, and on y-axis let's try do 60 or even 50. Okay, make sure to save your progress, and let's see now. I want us to somehow catch this wave that you can see. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, now it looks good. The only thing we're gonna change is 20, 20, 25, and dolly stays 275. Let's just quickly switch to other environment just so I see something. Is it gonna look better with some other environment or not? Again, we're gonna take this one. It's 2 panels tile tilted 4K. Yes, I think this one looks actually better. Brightness of 1.5, brightness of 1.5, contrast 1, 0 and 0. Now let's see if I rotate environment, how it's gonna look like. Yeah, let's not deal with this now. I'm having weird lags here in my KEYSHOT window. Sometimes when I press save or I press something, I get always different brightness. So I'm gonna use 1.25 in the end, and I hope it's gonna be a good one. And let's just see if we switch color to black. Okay, how it's gonna look like now. Yes, we are definitely gonna use black black environment, black color for the background. And let's just add slightly more to the dolly, like 300. Okay. Make sure here in the image presets we are in the landscape mode of one. You can see the full HD resolution, 1920 by 1080. So when you hit render, there is a few important things to do. Presets, again, you have to set resolution to 1920 by 1080, and we're going to animation here. Now, a very important thing, frame range from 5 seconds is 150 frames, so 151, so that's total of 151 frame. Video output, we're gonna set our folder. Folder is scene 1 for the video output. For frames output we need this PNG folder. Make sure here in the frames output you have PNG and include alpha transparency. This is what's gonna give you transparent background so you can play with these clips in Adobe Premiere or your video editing software, whichever it is. Here you can set anything. I think this first one is pretty good. For options, I mean these settings, this is what I use usually. I'm not gonna turn on anything else. I'm gonna turn off sharp shadows, and this thing is just not necessary. And yes, this is the first scene done. I think if you did everything like I have, you're not gonna have any problems. You can now hit render. Now for the second scene, again we need to make a folder, call it scene 2. Inside make a new folder and call it PNG, and take starting scene, copy it here, and give it a name of scene 2. Of course we need KEYSHOT. Now this is also gonna be one of the intro scenes, so we need to switch actually our environment color to black. Okay. Okay, so our camera is gonna be somewhere in between of perspective. Let's switch it to 140. The camera is gonna be something like this. We're gonna go again to front camera, zoom out. On the azimuth we're gonna rotate. I think I'm gonna start sneezing and I'm really fighting not to, but it's so heavy. Okay, and we are gonna let's actually leave it like this. So 40, somewhere on 1000 on the camera. Save, and let's save the camera. and lock it just for now. So what we're gonna do is open up animation wizard. I'm gonna use rotation this time of this model, of course, and we're gonna use epsilon. I mean, is this called Y? Yes, it's Y. Original axis, and I think like 30 degrees is enough. Finish, it's gonna be maybe 3 seconds. Yes, that looks good. Let's turn the grid on. So unlock the camera, turn the grid on, and lock camera once more. Now we need to be careful because we are gonna be editing our camera, which is the hardest part of this project. So go to camera, unlock it, and take the click on the mouse wheel and drag this down, so this Apple sign is in the middle of this grid. The grid is in the middle of Apple sign. We're gonna zoom in, and here, as you can see, zooming says we're somewhere on 600. I'm gonna go immediately to 400 or even less, maybe 250. Okay, and click save, and it's gonna prompt us for save. Yes. And now let's lock the camera once more. Let's see how it looks now. That's alright. Now we are gonna take animation wizard. We're gonna animate the camera with using dolly. Next, and maybe 300. Okay, and we are gonna change our camera once more. So unlock the camera, and we're gonna use twist, and we are gonna go in this direction. So it's something like -20. Click save and lock the camera once more. Let's see now. What we can do is add some contrast to environment and some brightness. That's a lot of brightness. 1.5. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is edit this material. Refractive index of 1.4, so it turns more to black. This one is gonna be 1.6. That looks better already, and we're gonna switch this one to 125 maybe. We wanna have this black, of course. And what else? We're gonna go to scene here. Click on the back of the phone. It's gonna say here glass back. We're gonna hide it, and we're just slightly gonna edit this material. We're gonna go to 85%. Click OK and unhide this glass. That's okay. And let's see what else. we can actually take this camera and just rotate it slightly more to this side, so it starts at 30 degrees. Save, and we're gonna distance it at 150, so it gets more interesting. So 150 distance, azimuth 30, 0, minus 20, and save the camera and lock the camera, and save once more. Let's see now. Looks good to me. The only thing I'm gonna do now is take this and expand it to 4 seconds and add 350 and change this one to 40 and make both of these ease out. Okay, let's see now. Let's try expanding it to 4.5. And we're just gonna add like 50. No, 70. 90. No, it's gonna stay at 45, and we're just gonna add here 450. Now, as you can see, I was following only up to 3rd seconds. So this is the scene number 2 done. Make sure to render at full HD resolution of 1920 by 1080. It's animation. You gotta set the folders right. So scene 2 this time. For these frames, again, it's gonna be PNG folder. Again, PNG, include alpha transparency, and frame range. It's important to go from 1 to 91 because that's 3 seconds. Here in the options you can turn off these things. It's not really gonna help anyways. And yes, that's the scene. Actually, we can do something, I think. In these close-ups I like to turn on the effects, like this bloom sometimes looks good, so 0.75 and 5, why the hell not? And one mistake I've noticed is that this camera is not really centered to our Apple logo, so unlock the camera and just slightly move it down. So something like this. Save, and lock the camera and save once more. Like I said, we are rendering only 3 seconds of this one, like it says here. So you can now hit a render. Scene number 3, again new folder, scene 3 and PNG. Okay, for this one we're gonna take this scene, copy it here. I'm gonna run KEYSHOT and I'm gonna rename this one to 3. Okay, and of course put it in. What's important is to delete all of these animations. Take the model and press here in position reset, camera unlock, and delete this camera. Yes, front view, and we are at the start once more. Now for this scene we want just a basic rotation once more. It's gonna be something like this. We're gonna take, I think, back camera zoom out at, let's try 900, turn the grid on, and now drag the model up till somewhere around here, between these two lines. Click save. I'm gonna rotate with the azimuth to 48. Inclination is gonna be negative of -15. Let's see what we can do about perspective, maybe 200. Yes, that's better. Click save. And let's do zooming in. So somewhere around 900, like I said. Okay, let's save this camera and lock it. Animation, it's gonna be just a rotation. Ajde odjebim ti materija. So y-axis original, local is the axis, and finish, let's see, about 3 seconds. Okay, let's try 85, 80. That looks good. I'm gonna also add dolly to just slightly get closer to it, so -50. Let's unlock the camera and try -20. Okay. We're just gonna slightly push the model down like this, save the camera and lock it. The only thing I wanna change here, you can see that this metal is fully black, but it looks like it's chrome. Also, let's bring up this one to 145. So we are definitely going to change environment, I mean HDRI, and turn off these effects, of course. Let's try this one. 1 to 1. This is not bad, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So let's see what we need to do to make it look normal. Height maybe. Rotation. No. Let's try something different. For what I always use is some of these two environments. They always give some good results. Not this time. Heights up. Rotation. Okay, this looks decent. So we have height of 0.5, rotation of 170, contrast, let's try higher contrast. So contrast of 2 and brightness of 125. I'm also gonna take dolly and try more. 150. Okay. Let's try even more, like 250. Now this looks way better, and we're gonna also take these both and make it ease out. Let's go here. Let's click on the glass and hide it, and double click on this material. So what we wanna do is we're gonna click on this material as well. It's gonna be 1.3. I'm gonna switch to free camera and click on this material and change it to 75. So it's just slightly brighter. We can see it better, and let's get back to our camera and let's see now how it looks. Let's bring back also this glass. Okay, let's see about the glass, maybe more. 170, 1.6. Okay, 1.6 for the glass. I think that's it. The only thing I'm gonna do now is Yep, I like how this looks like. The only thing that is gonna change is that I wanna render 2.5 seconds and not all 3, because I like how the model is looking like here. So when you go to render, make sure it's 2.5 by 30, 75. So 75 frames, it's gonna be 76. You have resolution set. Make sure that folder is from scene 3 and not 2, because this is third scene. PNG alpha on, options all off, and you can hit render. That was the scene 3. We came to the scene number 6. This scene is gonna be one of the shortest scene, because it's pretty extremely hard for a PC to render it, and because mostly because of that. And it shouldn't be hard to make. We're gonna take starting scene, put it here, name it scene 6. What I like about this one is the effect, so that's why we couldn't not do this one. We had to do this one. So we're gonna switch, of course, to the black color, and that looks good. Front camera. Okay, we're gonna need two models. So duplicate this one and click OK. This first model, let's drag it like this. You can see the coordinates here. I'm gonna be typing, so don't worry. Turn it here 180. Okay. Let's spin it like this with holding shift. You can still see here -97, and just slightly tilt it like this. So you have to see here what's happening. Click OK, and we're gonna zoom on that one, quarters. This may not actually be so easy to make. Okay, we're zooming still on this one. I think this looks good. So distance of 525. Phone should sit something like this. Yeah. Inclination, let's try 0. Okay. So you can see by the grid where cameras need to be to sit, and click save and make sure to add camera and lock it. Okay, now switch to free camera because we need to move this model. Let's rotate like this and move the model here. Let's switch back to our camera. Make sure to lock it. And let's see what to do with this one. We can take it up, rotate like this, and like this. Yeah, this is not easy. And then like this. Okay, so it says 30 minus 60 minus 40. On X it's 0. Here is 100 and let's make it 200. No, 150. 100. Okay. Here on set it's minus 350. 500. Okay. And also on X it can be -5. Actually, let's go and make it -40, for example, or even more, like 75. That's okay. Let's try rotate it. Let's leave it like this. 2 minus 65 and -8. Actually, -13, -65, -8, and click OK. Now, we have our camera. Don't move from that camera. Animation. We go to Animation Wizard. We're gonna rotate this model that is here close to us on epsilon original axis of command 20. Finish. Like I said, this is gonna be the short scene of 1 second. Okay, let's hide this glass and make this material darker, something like 85. Bring back the glass. Okay. Here as well, 1.25. This glass 1.5. This one as well. It's shining way too bright. Okay. This can be rotated for minus 30. No, it was plus 30. 25. 25 looks good. And let's make it 1.5 seconds actually. Okay. And we are gonna add slight translation. It's this one. -5, 10 for example. Make sure it's 1.5 seconds. It should go actually -10. Let's bring it up actually by 10. Up by 15. Okay, this looks good, I think. So you can see that this first model now is kind of moving to the side. So you can see better this second one. This second phone that we are also gonna have to animate. So translation. Next, this one. We're gonna add -5 and 10. Make it 1.5 seconds. 25. Okay. -10. That's okay. It can also approach to the camera, why not? And also add rotation for this one on epsilon original axis of 30 degrees. And a little bit of rotation for same model. Let's see which axis. It can be, I don't know, 10 degrees on X. Let's see. Does it look good? Here 1.4. Okay, and this glass 1.4. Rotation for this one 26, 27. Okay, let's also move it just slightly more to the side, like -15. Okay. No. -18, and here just 10. -5. What's special about this one is that we're gonna do depth of field effects. And yeah, if you like this thing, you don't have to do this depth of field effect because it's gonna bump the rendering time by a lot. But if you want, you can. If you don't want, this scene is done for you. So animation wizard, depth of field, next, camera, okay. Adding depth of field animation will enable the depth of field, continue. Finish. and it also lasts 1.5 seconds. Okay, now start focus distance, stops 10, 50 stops, 100 stops, 200 stops. Okay, 150 stops. Okay, start focus distance. I think it looks decent. Yes, end focus distance. It's gonna be here on the model. Done. And f-stop 150. 100. 75. Yeah, let's see how it looks now. Looks good to me. I'm gonna just put ease out so it gets faster to this second model. Let's expand it to 2 seconds because we have this ease out. And also in this first one we can do 100 or 75. Yeah. No. 125 and 100. I think this looks good, yeah. What I don't like is the rotation of the second model. Let's try adding another rotation for that one. Mm, okay, let's check now. What I don't like about this thing is that models are now parallel. Fucking shit. So let's add rotation to this first one. That looks even better, I think. I think I like what I see. I don't actually like what I see. This model has too much rotation. 75, 45, 35. So for scene 7 we have a new file. let me just first make a folder. This file is called XE and XE plus, or XI, however you want. So yeah, let's rename it to scene 7. Okay, now we want to make something interesting because I'm not really happy with first 6 scenes. So this file, you're gonna get it the same, just the way I have it here, and I think this is gonna be one simple animation. So where do we start? Let's try setting the camera twist. We can choose. I'm hard to decide which direction. Let's go with this one. So minus 60. Inclination. Azimuth. So something like this. No, this is way too much. Minus 20 and twist minus 40. I'm gonna rotate the environment, but later I will tell you exactly how much we're gonna have here. Okay, let's see about the zoom. Yeah, like this, and maybe minus 30. Actually, this is way too much. Okay. Perspective, let's try 200. Okay. So azimuth 135 minus 15 maybe. No, minus 20. And minus 25. Yep, we have it. Okay. I'm gonna of course add camera and lock it. And animation. This one is gonna be simple. The environment at the moment is at 20 degrees. Animation wizard, and we're gonna take actually XE is in the center, I believe. Center? It's not in the center. Let's center these two. Okay, with this one going at 10 or 8. 8, okay. So we need to set the camera once more, just pan across like this. Maybe. Yeah, maybe this one is more interesting. Okay, so 50 minus 20, 135. And what I'm also gonna do after locking the camera, I'm gonna take this XE plus 70, 68, 67, 65. So something like this. And now in the animation wizard we add translation to XE plus. Next on epsilon original local 25 for example, finish. This can be 3 seconds. Okay, we're gonna add translation for this small iPhone, -20, and we'll see. -20, 10, no. -10, -15, okay. And here we can do only 15 or 20, okay. And I'm gonna add just a dolly. We'll see if we want something else. Make sure it's all 3 seconds. It's not bad. Let's just see about the environment now. I'm just gonna try something. If I fail, we will get it back. Yeah, okay, you can set this material refraction to 125, this glass material refraction to 1.5, this one can be 1.5 as well, environment to 270, and make sure to copy this material here and here, and this one as well, 1.5. Let's just slightly make this maybe 135. 1.3 is gonna be this one, 1.2, 1.2, and brightness 0.7. I think it looks fine. Now there is something I don't like about this camera, so let's try with bigger dolly. Okay, we're gonna change starting position for XE plus or XE, let's see. XE can be on X1, 2, 3. This one can go on 64. 64.5. Okay, this looks decent. The only thing I'm gonna change also is gonna be I'm gonna hide this glass, and this material is gonna be darker, like 85 or even 90. Okay, unhide the glass and do the same for other iPhone. So to fill the screen better, we can maybe try inclination. Let's see, like 10. This looks better. Let's try 12. Okay. The only trouble now is the lighting. So let's see about that. Rotation. That's definitely not a good idea. Let's see about something else. Maybe this one. 1 1 0 0. Or maybe this one. I like how dark it looks like actually. 2 2. Yeah, let's try leave it at 205. Yeah, now it looks fine. Let's just see if I'm happy with how it looks. Yeah, not bad. The only thing I'm gonna try is to again, let's try move it to 4 seconds and put all to ease out. Just so it comes faster from this dark to more a light looking area. Yeah, I think that's all we can do. Contrast, maybe just smaller contrasts. 1.7. Yeah, I think we're done with this scene. And yeah, render out full HD resolution. I mean any resolution that you like. You can do even more if you want. You can do 2K, and yeah, make sure you take, like I will take 3 seconds, so it's 91 frame. You can take more if you want, and don't forget to set the folders. Here you can turn off these things and you are done. Scene 8, I don't have to tell you to make folders, and in this one I wanna copy the scene I made earlier, like 2 or 3 months ago, because I like this one. And yeah, here we have the frames. There is 75 of them, which means it's gonna be 2.5 seconds. Here we have first frame and we have the last one. So that's the position we want for our phones in beginning of animation. we're gonna be using these XE and XE Plus for scene 8. Scene 8 plus minus. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is to set a backplate image for environment. I'm gonna go to my folders. It's scene 18. So there we can see the starting position. And yeah, let's see. I'm gonna put let's decide which one should be left and which one should be right. Let's see on this image. Yeah, we can put the bigger on the right side. So I'm gonna use front camera, zooming out, XE plus is gonna go right here. Rotate it, I don't know, maybe like this, and slightly like this. So 15 minus 45 and 0. You have here these coordinates. Let's go back to front camera and see. No, this needs to be something like this. And slightly this way. Okay, let's try 40 here. No, 38, 37. Yeah, and let's switch to global, just move it slightly to the right. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, it just needs to be similar. Now let me take a look here. We have in the first image, this one is behind, I think, and this left phone is in the front. On the last image we have this on the right being in the front and this one staying at the back. Let's see how it goes. Rotating. Okay. So we're gonna move, looking from the top, this XE Plus model slightly to the back. Free camera front view, and let's move this model. I'm gonna rotate it 180 degrees first, and then maybe less, maybe like this. Front camera. I'm gonna switch to global and something like that. Front view again. Yeah, we just need to move this one to the left using global. And slightly down, just slightly like this. I think this is gonna work. I'm gonna switch this backplate image. I'm gonna take the last image. I will give you also these two images, of course, if I don't forget. So this is how the frame at the end needs to look like. So save the camera right now and make it minus 90, 0, 0, 5. It's gonna be, yeah, something like this. Okay, save. Now animation, it goes. Okay, animation wizard rotation for XE plus. Next on Y original, local global. I mean, oh my god, I'm so confused. I mean local axis, so it's local, not global. I'm just spilling words like spitting words. So it's 2.5 seconds. My English is very bad, yeah, I know. This can be 60. Okay, and we need another rotation for this one. XE plus on, for example, this one. Original axis, I mean global, no. Local axis it is. It's always the local axis that we use. Oof. I'm gonna go to minus. Let's try with X. Is this what we need? Yeah. Let's just see minus 20, minus 25, minus 30. Okay, so we made two rotations for this first model. It's on X axis, it's local axis, minus 30, and this one is 60 on Y axis, and I believe that's it. So 2.5 seconds. The only thing we need to add for this one is translation to get it closer to camera. Okay, next 0. Let's try 50. It can be, I don't know, hundreds. Let's leave it at 100. I'm gonna move it slightly also to the right, and minus 5 maybe. Okay. Let's see about this perspective. Do we need 200 or less? Let's try 125. Okay. Save. And yeah, we will fix this later if we need. And for now, that's it. Let's see my. So that's the way it goes. Okay, and for this second model, rotation on Y local axis. Finish. It's gonna go to minus. Minus 80. Okay, and let's add another rotation for this one. Local axis it's gonna be. Let's see, is it X or Z? Z minus 10. Yeah, Z minus 25. Okay, minus 30. Minus 40. No, minus 35. And let's see. Okay, on the epsilon, on the y-axis, minus 90. That should do it, I guess. Let's see about adding just a small rotation on this one. So it's gonna be x, I think, minus 5. Okay. And we're gonna add one dolly so it fits the screen just like this frame. Finish. It needs to be minus. So what I'm gonna do with this smaller iPhone, let's try dolly of 250, 300, 225. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna add just a small translation, like 5, 10. 10, 20, 10, 10, 15. Okay. Let's see now. It's important not to have collision. So let's try 10 here. I think they are not hitting each other right now. And let's move actually. This translation I'm gonna move, yeah, 5 minus 500. And I'm gonna turn off, of course, this backplate image. We don't need it no more. The only thing we need now is to decide which environment we want to use. When I say environment, I always mean HDRI, of course, because of the lighting. This one looks good, but yeah, let's see if we can find something better. This one is not bad because we have these reflections on our models, but they are too fast. Maybe if we rotate environment. No, it stays there because there is reflection. Let's try this one. Let's see if we can somehow avoid this black thing. Not bad, because we have these black areas. I'm gonna switch to 3 seconds just so it gets visible in the end. And let's just check if these are, yeah, 125. Here we have, yeah, let's try 1.3, change these to 1.5. This one as well. And also hide this glass and change this one to 90. It doesn't have to be so bright. I'm actually not happy with the way this environment, this lighting is what this HDRI is giving us, because we constantly can't see this right phone. There is just way too much changes in these reflections. Let's see something else. This one is not bad actually. So it's going to be 300. Let's see about the height of HDRI. Yeah, just use maximum height and you're done. Let's change this thing. No, it's actually fine. 1.4. There is not a lot of contrast actually. That's what I don't like about this one though. Let's see about the contrast. Yeah, you can put contrast to 2 and looks decent, I guess. What if I change this material and then this one can be 1.2? Yes, this looks better. I'm gonna also put refraction down on this one and slightly on this one, just so we see better what's happening. Yep, 40. That's the scene 8 done. So scene 9 we're gonna be using again this one. This time we wanna make one scene where we can see how large both phones are comparing to each other and their screens. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Camera animation. Okay, front view. So what we're gonna do now is center both of these. Okay, and rotate. I'm rotating this smaller one, so 90 degrees like this and 90 degrees like this. This XE Plus is gonna be in the same position. The only thing different is gonna be below this smaller iPhone. So on y-axis 62 maybe? Yeah, okay. Camera, let's see from the front how it looks now. Yeah, not bad. Environment, okay. So set the camera to something like 1250 minus 90, of course, 0 0, and turn the grid on. Make sure you have the models lined up somewhere in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect when it comes to this vertical tilt, but make sure that you are having it centered in when it comes to this left and right. You can see here and see here. So save this camera and lock it. We go to animation and we add again dolly for this camera, minus 250. It can be 5 seconds. We will decide later on the duration of this one. Okay, now let's see if we want to add inclination, or we're gonna use something else. Yeah, inclination is fine. And the only thing I think I'm gonna add, let's see, actually about 20. Okay, 20. The only thing I'm gonna add for one of the models is translation for XE plus. Next, nothing on Y. Let's try on X50. Finish. Of course, it's gonna be Z50 and not X. Maybe 25. Let's see how it looks. Okay. The only thing I don't really like about this is the environment. Let's see something different. This one is good actually. And let's see about rotation. What I like about this one is the way it makes the phone look, but it's not symmetric. That's why I don't love it. I'm gonna add translation to camera. Just slight translation up. Actually, it needs to go down. So minus 10. And this translation is gonna go ease in. When it comes to dolly, I'm gonna try more. And for this one, we can do 35. Also, I'm gonna actually change the starting position for X. It's gonna be, or actually for X, or this smaller. Let's just put it slightly closer to this one. Okay. Let's see now. And I'm gonna also add translation. No, actually let's push this one on 45 or even 50. And then put inclination even bigger, 25. And then this 15, 20, 25. Looks good. I'm gonna make dolly actually smaller. Where is it? It's here, 400 minus 375. Okay. So this thing can be like difference between two sizes. Scene 11 is gonna be the last scene. Prepare your folders and take scene 6. Copy it right there because we need this red phone. Okay. I'm gonna turn off depth of field. And delete all the animation. Okay, I'm gonna also delete the phone that is not red, we don't need it. I'm gonna reset this one and snap to ground. Okay, and turn the camera to the front view. So we start at 1700. Okay, save the camera and lock it. We're gonna rotate the phone, I think 15 degrees or minus 15. Uh, 35. Actually minus. Let me just check something. Let's make it actually more, like minus 60. I'm gonna turn the perspective to 225. Okay. Again 1500. Save the camera. And we start with rotation. So 60 plus 180 is 240. Okay. Next, y-axis, local axis. Let's start with 60. Okay, I'm gonna make it 3 seconds. Also, I'm gonna add dolly. It needs to be minus, I think, minus 250. Okay, and another rotation. Y-axis 180. So it's gonna end somewhere on 2.5 and start somewhere on first second, I don't know. And this dolly can also start on first second. And we're gonna add another dolly that is gonna be calm, like minus 200. This can last only 1 second, why not? It doesn't have to be longer. The only thing I would like to change is here to add 90, and here I'm gonna make it 150. Let's add here 350 so it fits the screen. I'm gonna change HDRI. This is nice. What the hell was I doing when I was preparing these materials? Okay. Don't forget to switch this one and this one to ease in, ease out to make it look normal. And maybe expand it to somewhere around here. This one has 200, let's add 100, and here move to 450. And I'm gonna expand all of this by half a second. Actually, let's bring this back to 2 seconds. Actually, move this to start on first second. Not bad in the end. I think I like it. Yeah, that was all for this one, and I think this is the last scene, and yet we are finally done. I really got tired in the process of making this, so if something is not perfect, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Yeah. See ya in some of my next videos. Bye.